My Doctor Who DVD collection.
Is Captain Jack Harkness the face of both? Hello and welcome to WhoTube Gallifrey 02 and my episode review for episode 8 of series 10 of Doctor Who, The Lie of the Land, written by Toby Whithouse and the third and final part of the mid-series three-parter. And I personally think this episode was absolutely magnificent. It had some great moments, it had a great mix of genres, it was a really good action-packed adventure and a really good end to the three-parter. So yes, personally I think this episode was good. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. But yeah, first of all I'm going to give you a plot summary, then my positives and negatives, as well as my personal conclusion. Also, early today I starred on one of the Doctor Who Guides videos, so please go and check it out after this video. So yeah, what was the plot for The Lie of the Land? Well, The Lie of the Land, the Earth has been invaded by the monks, and the Doctor has joined them, kind of. However, the Doctor has joined them so he can gain trust from them, so he can rebel against them. And he set up a plan by brainwashing people to say that the monks are lying. And yeah, they've got Bill on it as well. Bill still believes that the Doctor is a villain. He's joined the monks, but then he convinces her that it's all a joke, just to see how far the monks can go with manipulating the Earth. So yeah, the monks are transmitting their thoughts that they've been on Earth ever since the very beginning, with these massive monk statues which are everywhere in every town, every city. They're literally everywhere. They have labour camps for people who notice that the monks are all a lie. And yeah, a really strict world. And yeah, the Doctor pretends to like it, as it has stopped violence, it's stopped everything really, apart from its very strict world. And there's very little freedom for everyone. And yeah, the message of this episode says that anyone can overthrow a dictator. So yeah, quite a good message of this episode. And yeah, then the pyramid is raided, which is in the centre of London, which looks magnificent. And yeah, Bill uses the image of her mother to convince the world that the monks are all a lie. And then they retreat. And yeah, that's the end. And yeah, in this episode, Missy returns, which is very good, and she basically solves the plot and tells the Doctor and Bill what to do and how she defeated the monks before. And yeah, now on to positives of this episode. So yeah, I thought this episode was visually impressive. It had some great effects, and yeah, a really great episode in my opinion. I loved the way this episode was structured. It was very strange. It was all through Bill's eyes and her talking to her mum like she's a guardian angel. It was a really very unique way of structuring an episode, and I personally rate this episode a 9 out of 10. It is my joint favourite of the series so far, on par with the pilot. I can't decide which is better. Maybe I'm going to have to give this a rewatch before I can judge which one is better. But yeah, we got more insight of the vault in this episode. We finally got to see inside the vault and Missy inside the vault, imprisoned. Nardole in this episode, yeah, he was good in this episode, really good, I think. Very funny moments in this episode. The Doctor partially regenerated in this episode. Didn't really get that scene because he didn't really explain what he did fully. You know, he started regenerating, then he stopped regenerating. Is he now on another incarnation? He just kept the same face like the 10th Doctor. Well, he did say he's filmed his Doctor's death, his Doctor's being the 12th Doctor. That might have been the 12th Doctor's death. We might now be on the 13th incarnation or the 15th incarnation, and he is going to regenerate again into Christmas special. I think that's now the case. So yeah, he's no longer the 12th Doctor, he is the 13th Doctor, apparently. And yeah, regeneration was a lot better than Matt Smith to Peter Capaldi regeneration, as that was bad. You know, the speech was good, but the regeneration, it was very quick. In a split second, he regenerated. There was no face morph, and yeah, very disappointing regeneration that. But yeah, Love the regeneration of this episode. Love the scenery in this episode. A very good episode, in my opinion. The monks were a great villain. They weren't in it as much as I think they could have been. They weren't in it that much. But yeah, love the continuity from the pyramid at the end of the world. And yeah, now on to negatives of this episode. So yeah, first of all, at the beginning of the episode, the Doctor was doing one of his broadcasts, what he does to basically get trust for the monks by saying the monks have been here since the very beginning, and he says they've guarded the Earth from Zyraman, Daleks, and yeah, he's using footage. And where do you get the footage from? Especially from Blink, because that wasn't recorded whatsoever. So yeah, I don't get where he got that footage from, but what makes that flashbacks even worse is that Dalek, well no, Into the Dalek, which is in the future, he used clips from that to broadcast to the world. Where did he get that CCTV from? And yeah, they didn't stop them, that was on an asteroid. You know, that wasn't on Earth, that was in the far future. They didn't have control then because they had been overthrown thousands of years prior to that. The same with Hedrick's world in the Nightmare of Silver flashback. That was in the far future. The monks have been overthrown since then. I don't know where he got that CCTV footage from. I really don't know, and that was a negative of this episode. And yeah, other negatives. This three-parter, it's been good, but it's been a rip-off of the three-parter at the end of Series 3. Now there's loads of reasons for this. Episode 1, Extremis and Utopia. They both introduce the villain and the general feel to the story. They're not connected particularly to the next two episodes, but yet they are connected. The next episode introduces a political situation where someone is taking over the world step by step. And yes, at the end of both episodes, the Earth is invaded and it's like the Doctor has lost. Episode 3, The Lie of the Land and Last of the Time Lords. The person who wants to conquer the world, being the Master or the monks, have taken over the world and they are brainwashing people, you know, killing people who know the truth, and yeah, basically the same than each other. The Doctor is with the monks or the Master in both episodes, pretending to be on their side. There's transmitters transmitting the truth, just like the Angel Network in Last of the Time Lords. Two very similar three-parters, and yeah, they were so similar to each other. Don't know if you've noticed, but I have certainly noticed loads of similarities between the three-parter. Also, another negative, at the end, when the Doctor says to that student, what's this statue about? And she says, oh, it must be something which was filmed at the university. The world after the monks left, there were loads of statues left over. There were loads of labour camps left over. Loads of people would have died in those 6 months. But yet, there's no reaction after. You know, loads of people would have died. There would have been loads of funerals. The monks basically erased their existence after they went. What about all those people who died in between? What about the missing 6 months? Yes, they may have reversed the clocks, but they can't have moved Earth to the other side of the sun's orbit. That's impossible. Scientists would notice, you know. It's just that which really annoys me. Loads of people would have died. There would be some memory, at least. There would have been some photographic evidence. You know, it's just like in Forest of the Night. That, you know, people will remember that. It's not like people are going to forget that. The Doctor says they would forget it, but people will not forget it. People record TV. People take photos. You know, it doesn't seem to realise that, Doctor Who. But yeah, a very good episode in my opinion, and I'll personally rate it at 9.5 out of 10. Please go and check out last week's review on the pyramid at the end of the world, and yeah, some of my other videos like my Dimensions in Time Explained video and my Doctor Who collection update for May 2017. So yeah, until the next time, goodbye. Also, Donald Trump managed to whittle his way into the episode. In the final scene where the Doctor overthrew the monks, along with Bill, there was on the ceiling a picture of Donald Trump. Did you notice that? Well, I did. So yeah, bye again.